Internet marketing has become a right royal pain in the arse. 15 years ago, geeks like me were able to make an absolute shed load of money just by doing some techie stuff on our websites, like keyword spamming our meta tags, hiding text, creating doorway pages, and buying cheap links from high authority websites. The search engines were sending us a tsunami of free traffic, which us original online marketers lapped up and lined our pockets with. These methods made a lot of people a lot of money, me included. But then in 1998, Larry and Sergey built a little search engine called Backrub. They realized that the quality of the original search engines like Hotbot, AltaVista, Lycos and Ask Jeeves was pretty bad. These search engines were returning just any old spammy sites built by geeks in their bedrooms, people like me. Larry and Sergey did things a little differently. They built an algorithm that looked at the popularity of websites based on who else were linking to them. The more sites that were linking to them, the more popular they must have been, hence the name Backrub. The name really didn't take off, so they decided to change it and call it Google. And that's when everything changed. My name is Chris Haycock, and I'm one of those dodgy guys that got in at ground level with some really unethical stuff. But as Google improved its algorithm further, I had to ditch my dodgy ways and learn how to create revenue streams that were ethical, sustainable, and honest. Interestingly, the more I learnt about ethical digital marketing, the more I profited. Along the way, I discovered many techniques that won new customers, increased sales and boosted my profits to more than £100,000 a year. I was hooked. In this video, I'm going to show you some of the most successful techniques I've learnt over the years that you can steal ethically from right under my nose. Before I begin, I'll explain a little bit about who I am for context. My name is Chris Haycock, and although I started dabbling in digital marketing long before Google, it took me quite a while to properly start my digital publishing business. Before I started in digital, I was homeless on the streets of London, but that's another story, as they say. And to cut that long story short, I got myself out of homelessness, I learnt marketing and actually got quite good at it. Up until 2010, I was hired by several blue chip companies and dot-com startups as a marketing executive, webmaster, online marketing manager. Well, that was great, but I realised that my digital marketing skills were making my bosses really wealthy. So whilst I was working full-time with them, on the side, I was building my own websites using my skills to line my pockets too. In 2004, I built one of the first events listings websites in the UK called Brit Events, which went absolutely crazy. I built it so that it was fully automated and it brought in a nice little earner each month. There were days that I was earning as much as £3,000 from ticket sales in a single day. And that's when the penny dropped. If I built more websites, I could make even more money. So I did. By 2010, I had about 6 websites, all bringing in a decent amount of money each month. So I put them all under the umbrella of a new company called Click2 Media. I incorporated it and I started building like crazy. Today, my company owns and operates more than 30 different websites, all in different industries and sectors, and between them they're used by about 1 in 7 of the UK population. The best thing about this journey is that I've learned a lot about what works and what doesn't in digital marketing. I've kept quiet about my knowledge for way too long, partly out of fear that someone else would come along and copy my strategies. It's only in the last couple of years that I've started sharing my knowledge. I've realised that By sharing my strategies, it will help many other businesses learn those valuable skills too. After all, I can't take it with me when I'm gone. So with that out of the way, let's get down to some techniques that you can implement on your website that will help you not only to accelerate your online presence, but increase inquiries, increase customers, and most importantly, increase your profits. All these techniques are designed to supercharge your website. But if you think they're going to be difficult or require technical expertise, don't worry, they don't. Anyone that runs a website with a CMS like WordPress can get stuck right in and see almost instant results. I've chosen a handful of the most effective techniques. If you want more, I've got another 70 for you, and you can have them free as part of this group. I'll tell you how at the end. So let's get started, shall we? First up, let's talk about your customers rather than you. This technique is one of the most effective ways of getting more customers through your doors. Open up your homepage and read what's written. If you're talking about your business, your product, who you are, what you do, then you're missing a trick. You need to really be talking about and addressing your customers' problems, desires and needs, rather than you and your business. Customers are much more responsive to copy that addresses their needs and concerns rather than reading content that's solely about you. In reality, your customers will also be taking a me too approach, and they won't really be caring when you write only about you. So whenever you're describing what you do, always switch the focus away from you, your business, by removing most, if not all, the times where you mention the words I, we, us, etc., and use the words that address their needs and their concerns. Use the word you instead. If you really understand your client's needs, you'll be able to write copy that makes use of the word you. After all, it's your customers who want a solution to their problem. Next up, outline benefits before features. Imagine for one moment that you've broken your bed, and I won't ask why, and you need a new one. Think about what you really need here. You don't want to buy a new bed, you want to buy a good night's sleep, right? And that's what most bed retailers understand very, very well. Go into one of their stores and you'll get promises of comfortable, uninterrupted sleep. Sure, you can find out the key features, such as the materials used, the maximum weights, sizes and so on, but you're sold on the benefits such as comfort rather than the features. The fact that it's made of polyurethane foam is secondary, isn't it? So by focusing on the benefits before the features, you're addressing the needs of your customers. That's ultimately what's going to make them buy from you. Always think about your customer's primary reason for being on your website, i.e., what's in it for me. When you do this, you'll begin to come up with a list of benefits rather than features. Number 3, use the AIDA principle. There's a fantastic methodology in copywriting that will really boost your sales, and you don't need to hire a copywriter to use it. Anyone has the ability to use it. The AIDA principle is designed to get people to act by creating attention, interest, desire and action. Whenever you produce any content, whether it's copy for your website, a Facebook ad, a leaflet or even a TV advert, the AIDA principle is designed to maximize its effectiveness. Let's break it down. First up, use emotive language that resonates with the reader to get their attention, stir in emotion, make them sit up and listen or watch. Then make it personal to them using you, again, to build interest, remembering to keep it simple to understand. After that, create desire by building trust and selling the benefits. And finally, encourage action by telling people exactly what they need to do next. Follow this principle and I guarantee you'll not only attract more inquiries, but you'll drive your sales up too. Number 4, use an F-shape pattern. Visitors create their first impressions of a website at amazing speeds. Within the first few seconds, they've usually scanned a website to find out if that website meets their needs and expectations. From studying thousands of eye tracking tests, world-renowned research company Nielsen Norman Group found that there was a fairly consistent pattern of behaviour in terms of how the eyes scan a web page. This dominant pattern looks like the shape of a capital F. First, users look across the screen horizontally, usually across the upper part of the page. Then their eyes move down the page slightly and perform a second horizontal scan, shorter than the first. And finally, users tend to scan the left side of the page vertically, and this completes the F-shaped pattern. Given that this area is where the visitor's first glances are placed, it makes complete sense, therefore, that you should put your most important information, like your call to action, your powerful headlines, your offers, and your best images in that area. Go ahead and examine your page, imagining the F-shaped pattern. Are you putting the most important messages, titles, and pictures in this area? If not, then consider moving them into the F-shape area to maximize interest. Number 5, build social proof. People like to know that they're not alone. As humans, we tend to make decisions based on what experiences others have had too. Before the advent of the internet, this meant testimonials on brochures and flyers. However, the incredible rise of social media has demonstrated the importance of social proof, i.e. Facebook likes, activity on Twitter, post shares, etc. Today, 79% of consumers trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations before making a buying decision. So, in other words, other people's opinions really do matter. Social proof is a psychological technique that improves sales because it tells a visitor that you're better than other businesses with the same product because others are using and like your business. There are many ways to improve your social proof. If you've got thousands of followers on your Facebook page, you can embed this on your website. Same with Twitter. Other ways including adding testimonials to your site, again, prominently. Third-party review websites, badges, subscriber counts, for example. Use as many social proof elements as you can to make your website visitors feel reassured and comfortable with your brand. It takes time, but the rewards will be worth it. And if you don't have any social proof, go out there and ask your previous customers to write some nice things about their experience of your business and your products. They all help to increase your social proof. Number 6, make the call to action button prominent. If you're wondering what a call to action button is, it's the button that commits a user to a particular action you want them to take. It might be a button that adds the product to their shopping cart. It might say buy now or download guide or even contact us. It's the one you want them to click. Your call to action buttons need to stand out from the clutter and be immediately obvious. First, choose a contrasting colour for your call to action buttons and make the button text larger than the surrounding text. Leave lots of white space around the button to increase the prominence in relation to the other elements on the page. After all, you don't want people to have to search for the buy now button. Now, view the page on your PC from the other side of the room and ask yourself, is the button prominent from 15 feet away? If not, make it bigger and increase the white space until the button is clear. By doing so, you will increase the click-through rate on that button, which will increase the number of conversions. Remember, Even if you see an increase in click-throughs, continue to run split A/B tests with different colours, text size and wording. You can always squeeze out a higher click-through rate by experimenting with different variations. And never ever use click here. Call to action buttons need to be compelling enough for people to click, and click here isn't one of them. The most effective way to compel a visitor to click a button is to describe exactly what they'll be getting once they click it. Think about it. What would you rather click on? A button that says click here, which is really rather vague, or another one that says download your free report now? So keep your call to action button phrase short and straight to the point in less than 5 words. And finally, number 7, perform split tests. It's no good running a website and hoping for the best if you don't compare what works and what doesn't work. You might think you have the most beautiful, the most effective and the highest converting website out there. It might have been designed by the industry's best web designer, but it never ever really works this way. The secret to a successful website is to constantly perform split tests on every aspect of every element on your site, including the button colours, the wording, the text, photographs, text, element position and titles. Only by running split tests can you make constant gradual improvements to your website that result in increased sales and conversions. Make use of your analytics package such as Google Analytics to gauge what is working and what is not working. Eliminate the weakest performing element and repeat. On one of my landing pages that I built, it started off with a 3% conversion rate, slightly higher than average. Not bad, I thought, but by constantly split testing different elements, I was able to increase the conversion rate from 3% to a whopping 21%. That meant I was bringing in 7 times more business just by testing and improving. Well, I think that lot will keep you busy for a while. You'll notice that none of these techniques are really classed as SEO. But you remember from my introduction that I said about how Google changed everything. In reality, the techniques I've talked about are subtle but powerful changes that will help your website rank higher in the search engines. Here's why. Google monitors how people use websites. Their algorithm knows how long someone spends on their website, they know how much they are interacting, they know how engaged they are as they hop around your site, getting deeper and deeper into the business. Sites that have high engagement rates typically rank higher than websites that lose visitors moments after they arrive. Engagement is an important factor in the algorithm. So if you implement the techniques I've outlined, not only will you get more customers and more sales, but you'll also be on the road to gaining higher rankings too. It's a double whammy. Now, earlier on I said that I had another 70 techniques that you can easily implement on your website to increase and accelerate your online presence. I've written a short-ish book titled Supercharge Your Website. It contains 60 pages of tips designed just to do just that, supercharge your website. It's only £15, but because these are tough times for business, the lovely people who will watch this until the end can have it for free. Just head to the website on the screen and use the code DIDYOUSAYFREE to download it free. And if you really want to tap into the knowledge I've picked up over the last 20 years in marketing, pop over to the Rainmakers website at www.therainmakers.club, where sales genius Bruce King and I are about to launch something that will really help small businesses get to grips with sales and marketing. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I hope that by implementing these techniques you'll see a massive growth in sales. Cheerio for now. Bye.